Hello students, I am Ms. Sofiya Shaikh, your science teacher, and today this is the revision session and we will be discussing your doubts. So today I'll be discussing the topics that you might have difficulty while learning or understanding. And children, if there are still some topics uncovered, you can tell me in the comment box that you didn't understood. I'll surely help you all. Here is a summary of the last lesson that we learned, that was sorting material into groups. So let us get a quick glimpse of it, a summary of it, what we learned. Children, we saw that different objects are made up of different kinds of materials. For example, a door and a window. The properties of materials that are present around us, what will it do? It will help us to understand them properly. It is much easier to know and learn more about them when they are grouped or classified. So this is what we learned, why the classification is necessary. We learned what is the classification. So grouping things in together on the basis of a certain similar property is called classification. So the examples that we saw were of the living things and the non-living things. So we classify living things on the basis of how they breathe, live, produce, eat, grow, etc. While the non-living things, they don't move, they don't breathe, they don't reproduce and they don't grow. So these were the criteria that we saw for classification of living things and the non-living things. And the next was natural and man-made things. In natural, the nature gives us whatever that is present naturally on the earth is natural, and what man has made out of the nature is man-made. For example, a tree is natural resource and the wooden door that we make from the wood of the tree is the man-made resource. So this was the classification of material. Next we will see the difference between mass and volume that you don't understand most of the times and you get confused in it. So here is the difference. So today's topic is mass, volume and density. So children, let us take a quick look at these topics so that you can understand the difference between the two. I know there is difficulty and you mix up the things and that doesn't make clear. So children, you observe many things around you. In your surrounding there are various objects, whether big or small, thin or fat, maybe small or huge. There are various objects present around us. But children, these all objects also have two things in common. Basically, they have two things in common. The first one is mass, next is volume. So any object that has mass and volume is called, what it is called? It is called matter. So matter has volume and mass. Let us now see what is mass. Mass, when you take in a weighing pan, mass of an object is the amount of matter present. So for example, if you take a small object, the weight of that will be small as compared to the mass of the greater object. And the size increases, the weight increases. So this is called mass. So if you increase the size of an object, the mass increases. See, as you can see here, the two things are compared, and as you increase the mass from the both sides, the balance between them equalizes. Mass is measured in kilograms and the units are, see, as you can see here, it is measured in kilograms and grams. Now let us discuss about volume. What is volume? Volume is the space occupied by any object. So consider the occupied space of these two objects. When you put the first stone in the beaker, the space occupied is less than the small stone. So the volume is the occupied space. The bigger stone will occupy more space and the smaller stone will occupy less space. So this is the difference between the two volumes. So volume occupied by a bigger object will be greater and it is measured in meter cubes. It has its unit, that is meter cube. Now what is density? Compared to these two quantities are measured in the term called density. What is density? It is mass per unit volume is the density of an object. Density is equals to m upon v, where m stands for mass and v stands for volume. Volume is measured in so for example, the bigger the object, greater is the density, smaller the object, less will be the density. Now this will go varying according to object and object. Every object will have different density because the mass and the volume will differ. So see here the densities are given. So you can see it goes on varying from object to object. At the end of this video you will, or this clip, you will get the concept map. Children, you can draw it, the concept map that I will show you, you have to draw it. So this is the concept map showing the difference. Hope now you can understand, now you have understood the difference. So children, matter has volume and mass, and what is density? It is the unit per mass per volume is density. So as you can see here in the concept map, what is mass? Mass is the amount of matter present in an object and it is measured in kilograms, whereas volume is the occupied space and it is measured in meter cube, and the summation is called density, which is mass per unit volume. Now we have the properties of matter. We saw what was matter, we saw the states of matter, that is solid, liquid, gas, and now we will see the properties of matter. We also saw the properties of matter, that is other than volume and mass, matter has many other properties on the basis of which we can distinguish them. The most common properties were that we discussed: appearance, hardness, solubility, density, transparency, and magnetic property. So this was about the lesson what we studied. Now we will solve the worksheet. Let us solve a worksheet based on a lesson that we just now revised. So the first question is match the following. Children, you have to, here the first column will show you the things and the second column will you have to match it whether it is soluble in water or the insoluble in water. We saw what were soluble substance and insoluble substance, right? Soluble are the that can mix with water, that can form a solution, whereas insoluble substances that cannot be mixed with water. So the first one is chalk powder. Is it soluble in water? Yes, it gets solved. So what will it be? It will be soluble. The first one it will be matched with. Soil, is it soluble? No, it is insoluble. These two are for you. So the next things you have to do it on your own. So children, tell me, is honey soluble in water? Yes, it is soluble in water. So write there, soluble in water. The next is copper sulfate crystals. These crystals, they form a solution, copper sulfate solution. So children, it is soluble in water. Glucose is also soluble in water. So you can write in the next column, it is soluble in water. The mustard oil. Is oil soluble in water? As I told you earlier, no, it isn't soluble. So write insoluble. Next is sawdust. It doesn't dissolve in water. Similarly, like sand is also not soluble, so it is insoluble in water, right there. Wheat flour, we make dough out of it, so it can dissolve and make a paste, but it is not soluble, it becomes a paste, so it is insoluble in water. So this was about match the following. Now you have to answer these questions along with me, okay? You have to guess, think on that. The first question is, Sam found a bag containing the following materials. The materials are as follows. First one is mirror, paper stained with oil, wood, glass spectacles. Now I have given you 4 options. From these, which are the materials that are opaque? You have to tell me. Pick out any one material which is opaque from above. So can you tell Sam which one is the opaque substance? So the answer is wood. Yes, wood is the opaque substance as the light cannot pass through a wooden substance. The next question that we have is, which pair of substances will float in water? Here are some options. From that options you have to choose and tell me which substance will float in water. As I told you earlier, substances which will have less density than water will float. So pick out any one pair. Now till now you have guessed it, I guess. So the correct answer is plastic ball and feather. These are the light objects, so they will float in water. Next question is, which of the following materials is not lustrous? Options are gold, silver, wood and diamond. All these have luster, means the shine that they possess. They shine brightly whenever we wear them or we see them. So which of the following is not lustrous? That means it doesn't shine. Yes, the answer is wood. Why? Because metals have the unique property to shine, but wood is not a lustrous substance, as it is not a metal, and wood does not have a shine unless and until we polish it. That is the exception, children. So among these examples, the options, wood is a non-lustrous substance. Luster is the shine that the metals have. Next question we have is, which of the following is a soft material? Children, you already know what is a soft material, that is smooth or soft to touch. This property we saw in the hardness, remember? So the options are iron, sponge, plastic and the last is none of these. So pick any one which is soft. Yes, children, have you picked? Yes, the correct answer is sponge. Sponge is a soft material and it also can be compressed, that is pressed, and it is not hard too. In the property hardness we learned that sponge is a soft material. The next question we have is, pick one material from the following which is completely soluble in water, and the options are chalk powder, tea leaves, glucose and sawdust. So quickly children, pick up any option. We have to which will be soluble. We have previously solved the match the following, right? So completely soluble means there will be no trace. Among this, the correct answer is glucose. Why? Chalk powder also will leave some of the particles behind, but glucose is completely soluble and it will form a solution. So glucose is the correct answer. Next question is, which one is compressible? Just now I told you, children, compressible is the property to be pressed. You can press the object. So the options are cotton, gold, marble and stone. Which are among these are compressible? Come on, pick the correct answer that you think, that you have already studied. Yes, the answer is cotton. Why? Others are metals and they cannot be, due to their property of hardness, they cannot be compressed with our hands or easily. So the answer is cotton, as it is soft and it can be compressed. Now children, it's time to solve a crossword puzzle. Yes, you see this picture? Can you see this picture? Just make the boxes similarly along with as you've taken the picture. Sheet of paper. Children, come on, draw the boxes as you can see it on the screen. You have to draw these boxes cross and down, and the questions now we will see they are as follows: across and down. So the first question is, cotton is a dash material, where there is number 2. Now tell me, what is cotton? Which type of material is it? Come on, think on it. Across we have horizontally. Across is the horizontal arrangement. So the materials which are difficult to compress, what are they known as, children? Come on, quickly try. Scratch your heads and remember what it is called. Think. The next across, fifth number is, question is iron, copper, aluminium. What type of things are there? What type of substance are these? So think of an answer. Next is, the materials through which objects can be seen but not clearly are known as dash. In the property of transparency, we learned this, children. The 3 type of things under transparency. Come on, I have given you the hint and try to write the answer. Shiny appearance is termed as what? Across you have to write here. Now the numbers are 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So these questions you have to write it down, the answer. Whereas the standing thing down, the questions are opaque material which we get from trees is dash. What we get from trees? We get various things like wood, leaves, fruits, flowers, then we have gum, etc., etc. So what will be suitable in that box, you have to decide. The next is water is a dash liquid. What type of a liquid is water? Now next one and the last one is vinegar is a dash in water. When it comes to water, we have two types of things, that is soluble and insoluble. So you decide what is vinegar. So we have here we have one, the first question, the third question and the seventh question. So come on, try to fill in this crossword puzzle. As I have given you the hints, hope you have done it until now. Try to just whatever columns you feel easy, fill it first and then come to the next. And if you have some problem, just wait for me to tell you the answer, okay? Now let us hope you have solved it up till now. If not, take your time, children. Before, you have to pause this video and solve that crossword puzzle first, okay? Now I will be telling you the answers of these questions. What is cotton? Cotton is a soft material, and the materials which are difficult to compress are known as the hard materials. This we studied in the property of hardness of substances. Yes, so your answer was correct. Now you have iron, copper, aluminium. What are these? These are the metals that you sort them according to their type of material. So these are the metals. The materials through which objects can be seen but not clearly are translucent, as the light can pass partially through it. So these are translucent. Shiny appearance is termed as luster. Just now we have solved. While solving, I gave you the answer. It is lustrous substance, remember? So it is luster. Now the down things that you have to fill in is the opaque material which we get from trees is wood. Yes, children, while giving the hint, I give you the answer. Among various things that we get from tree, wood was the correct that was fitting in that box. Water is which type of liquid it is? It is transparent liquid. Yes, you can see through it. So it is transparent. Light can completely pass through it. So it is transparent. And vinegar is soluble in water. So as I gave you the hint, soluble and insolubility. So this is the answer. Now the last question is classify the following into groups. Now I have given you the objects, and for your convenience I have also given you the type of material what they are. You just have to match the following and tell me the answer. Okay, so book, I'll give you 1 minute, just solve it. Every time you solve a question, children, I'll be along with me, so that I give you hints alongside and you understand what the answer is. If your answer is correct, that is well and good, and if it is wrong, why it is wrong, you will come to know. So every time you solve a question, pause the video, try to solve it, and if not, then play and listen to my hints that I tell you. So hope up till now, till this time, you have solved this question. You have matched the objects with their materials. So the book we will categorize book from, it is made up of what? Papers. Yes. So book goes, and the material what the book matches with is paper. Next we have tumbler. Tumbler is a type of glass that is present. Yes, so tumbler is a glass. It is a glass material. Next we have chair. Chair can be either of any material, but here as you can see the option. So the chair will be made up of wood. Yes, chair is the wooden chair that is present. And the next is toy, will be made up of plastic toys you have. And finally we have shoes which are made up of leather. So like this you have solved this question, and hope you understood the lesson. So the summary, the doubts you have or maybe you have, that has been solved out. Okay, so children, if still you didn't understood, please let me know in the comment section that related to a topic or subject you have some doubt, or what the worksheet we solved you didn't understood, why the answer was this, anything, please be free to ask me. comment in the comment box and I will surely help you out and solve your doubts. So this was for today. Thank you children. Hope you are safe and good. Take care. Bye.